Hello and welcome to the 51st episode of Williams Whiteboard. As I always do, I'd like to take a quick moment just to say thank you to all of you that have come by, left comments, watched the videos, liked, and shared. I really appreciate the shares. So on today's 51st episode, I want to talk about the concept of not mutually exclusive. Yes, we're going to have a short conversation about innovation and compliance, and that they are not mutually exclusive. So this week, I had an opportunity to be a participant in a webinar that Department of Homeland Security and Office of Federal Procurement Policy held this week on innovation in procurement and government contracting. And this webinar was amazing. And during the course of the webinar, they had 3 contracting officers that came on, gave brief presentations on their requirements and how their strategy of innovating the contracting process. And while it was a great call and a great webinar, there was one moment that was, in my opinion, the most important moment of the webinar. Someone put the question in the chat: how do you balance innovation with compliance? How do you balance innovation with compliance? That was the most powerful question, in my opinion, the most powerful moment of the entire webinar. Someone put it in the chat that innovation and compliance are not fighting against each other. If anything, in my opinion, when you think about innovation, instead of compliance being on the outside, this is compliance and this is innovation, and that somehow they are fighting against each other. I make the argument that compliance lives inside innovation. It's understood. Compliance is understood. We would never do anything that's not compliant with the rules, regulations, and guidance of the Federal Acquisition System. It's understood. It's baked. It's baked in. Okay? So there is not an arm wrestle between innovation and compliance. They are not mutually exclusive. Not mutually exclusive. One can innovate and be compliant, and one can be compliant and innovate. Okay? They live in the same bubble. This is Williams Whiteboard, and this is the concept of not mutually exclusive. As we want to think about elevating and innovating our contracting strategies, please know that innovation and then compliance live together, and we don't have to sacrifice compliance to get innovation, and we don't have to sacrifice innovation to get compliance. Thank you so very much for your time, and as I always do, and I always say, when you're chewing on a problem and you don't know what to do, grab a whiteboard and a couple markers and get after it. All the best. Be well.